And welcome to this very special night here at the Burlington Hotel, our annual celebration of the year that's been in Gaelic Games, but an occasion also that has, in the year that's in it, so much added significance. As this year and the century flickers to a close, we'll be reflecting here tonight on the era of these All Star Awards, an era that has now spanned 3 decades, with many more to come, no doubt, in the new century. Well, our main business tonight, of course, is to honour the cream of the crop in football and hurling, and that we shall be doing over the next hour, and also naming the players of the year in each code, and indeed the young player of the year in football and in hurling. They will all have the distinction of being the last award winners of the 20th century, and also joining the list of past winners and indeed some of the greats of Gaelic Games. Ah, yes, of course. Will there be another century like it? Yes, of course there will. Now, some of the names and faces there that have brightened up many a Sunday afternoon in the past, and over the coming minutes, new names will be added to that list. The hurling team of 1999 has already been announced. The football team will be revealed in a little while, and obviously there's a great sense of anticipation here in the banquet hall on this gala occasion. Well, now, apart from our nominated players and our many other guests who are with us, we're delighted also to welcome Anthuchthrán Common Lucas Scale, Joe McDonough, the Chief Executive of the All-Star sponsors Aircell, Stephen Brewer, and our guest of honour for the evening, the Minister for Sport, Tourism and Recreation, Dr. Jim McDade, and all of whom are going to join me now on the stage, please. Gentlemen, you're very welcome indeed. Now, I would also, ladies and gentlemen, ask you to give a very warm welcome to our special guest, who will briefly address you now, and that is Dr. Jim McDade.
President and ladies and gentlemen, as Minister for Sport, it is a great pleasure for me to present these Aircell GAA All Star Awards this evening. And to each nominee, I would like to say that you epitomise all that is good in Irish sport, and in particular in our Gaelic Games. And at the end of this most momentous week in our history, which has seen so much change, I would like to commend your organisation, and in particular your President, for his leadership during Joe McDonough during the past 3 years. I am confident that your association will rise to the challenges of the future. I want to acknowledge also all those who continue the tremendous tradition of our national games, that so many of our young people are still so passionate about the game. The GAA owes a great deal of its success to the voluntary effort of its organisation. Each award winner tonight will accept their prize in the knowledge that in the early stages it was the encouragement that they received at their club and at their county level which gave them the commitment to go and become an All-Star. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, at a time of such optimism, could I be personally just permitted the hope that perhaps the first Millennium Psalm might come to County Donegal. Thank you very much.
Minister, that might be stretching it a small bit, but you're very welcome nonetheless. Now, first off this year, it's our hurling winners, and this year's selection was revealed earlier in the week. The footballers, I'm afraid, are going to have to bite their fingernails for just a little bit longer. But just before we meet the All-Stars in hurling, let us first, as we usually do, remind ourselves of the way the hurling season unfolded.
After a slow start, Tipperary, helped by a John Lackey goal, went on to outscore Galway in the National Hurling League final.
Paul Shelley. Shelley trying to advance on goal here. Spotted the attention of Brian Feeney towards John Lackey, and Tipperary have got a goal, and they really are back into the match.
Beaten Munster finalists from '98, Waterford went into the Munster Championship against Limerick, aided by a Paul Flynn goal before half-time.
Ball inside this time. Flynn getting inside Begley. Paul Flynn, here's a goal chance. Paul Flynn.
Clare versus Tipperary usually has everything in the Munster Championship. Last June, it didn't disappoint, and Clare rescued their championship campaign, but it was late.
Clare must get a goal here. David Fitzgerald has scored!
In the replay, Clare made a very bright start, and Tip were powerless to resist the power play of the Bannermen.
Murphy trying to get in on goal. Here's a chance for Clare. And across it comes. And it's a goal. Owen Morecambe.
The other semi-final down south paired Cork and Waterford, and it was the debutant, Mickey O'Connell, who turned in a 5-star performance.
Got no fewer than 4 points in the first half. Going for it there. That's a superb effort by Mickey O'Connell from Middleton, a famous travelling Cork.
2 early goals in the Leinster semi-final allowed Offaly to settle, but Wexford battled back, and it took a marvellous Joe Dooley score to tilt the match in favour of the All-Ireland champions.
Now down towards Johnny Dooley. The hand pass to the man who now is at full forward. John Troy helping it across Michael Duggan outside in the end to Joe Dooley. And it's gone in. It's a third goal for Offaly.
Kilkenny's semi-final was against Laois, and after a perfect start, it turned into a rout.
To Ken O'Shea. Could there be a third goal here for Ken O'Shea?
The Munster hurling final proved a day of joy for Cork's young stars. In fact, Clare never led. Glory for Jimmy Barry Murphy, and the side entrance to the quarter-finals was awaiting Clare.
That's Fergal McCormick. McGrath got back and it's deep.
Kilkenny brought their goals tally to 11 for 2 matches, with a 5-goal drubbing of Offaly in the Leinster final. DJ Carey scored 2-3, and the champions were forced to follow the previous year's path.
Here's John Power stepping in beautifully, going around Keenan. Opportunities. DJ Carey, a goal opportunity, and it's there.
While Offaly had it easy against Antrim, it was anything but for Clare against Galway, in what was a memorable quarter-final contest, and a narrow victory for Ger Loughnane's team.
Good running by Gilligan. Getting away from 2 Galway players. Blocked down by Finney. He gets the second chance to go by Hodgins. Another challenge coming in. And in the end, it's a great shot. It's a great goal.
The Cork-Offaly game in the first semi-final was the match of the championship. But Cork put in a big finish and came from 14-16 down to win by 19-16.
Off one score towards Ben O'Connor. O'Connor taking on Hanami. And it's like the score he got in the Munster final because he's rejoicing again, jumping for joy like the fans.
Kilkenny and Clare were level at half-time in quite a contrasting second semi-final. Clare finished with 14, but the Cats finished as victors.
Place in the final against Cork at stake. Beautifully in, and DJ Carey's in the clear. Oh, it's a great goal! Only DJ could do that.
So Cork faced Kilkenny in September. It was one of the youngest Cork teams ever to play in the All-Ireland final. A game which ebbed and flowed, but significantly, Cork got 5 of the last 6 points and held on for a first championship win in 9 years.
Running in there to the challenge of Peter Barry. Hand pass to Ben O'Connor. Looking for enough room. Gets enough room. Gets enough accuracy on it as well. And Cork take the lead through Ben O'Connor. Still only a point in it. Kilkenny looking for a chance, but the referee has whistled. It's all over. And Cork are the All-Ireland hurling champions for 1999.
Yes, the best moments of 1999 coming up next. We have the best players of the year in hurling. And just before we meet them, let me just introduce somebody else to you on our presentation podium here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, because she actually did help to make it a double for Cork this year in hurling and in the Rose of Tralee. Would you welcome, please, Geraldine O'Grady. Okay, on to our all-star hurlers then, and obviously we're going to start with the goalkeeper. Now here, this player was stepping into the role that was filled so long and so well by Ger Cunningham. But it was a role few would relish. The man from Cloyne did it brilliantly. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald O'Cusack. For our right full-back, this was, I suppose, a fairy tale year for this player. A hurler of outstanding quality, Fergal Ryan of Cork. A towering figure at the edge of the square, skill combined with passion. We're staying in Cork, Dermot O'Sullivan. Well now, although he's been part and parcel of Clare's rise to glory in the 90s, I suppose this player in many respects came into his own in 1999. Frank Lohan. At right half-back, and well really, what words need to be said to explain why this player is on the All-Stars team? From Offaly, Brian Wheelahan. The same, I suppose, might be said about our centre half-back. An outstanding year by any measure. Ladies and gentlemen, from Cork, Brian Corcoran. Now, although there were other worthy candidates for the position of right half-back, there could in fact only be one winner. From Kilkenny, Peter Barry. The first of our midfield positions, and here it's another Kilkenny man, and really again for the selectors here, only one choice, Andy Comerford. The other midfield position, ladies and gentlemen, now this comes from the National League winners and one of the heroes of that campaign, Tomas Dunn. Well, I guess each passing year just adds to this man's legend. This evening he collects a 7th All Star Award. It is, of course, DJ Carey. Now, Offaly's hurling is respected for its skill, but there is guile there also, and that's ably demonstrated by John Troy. We move on then to left half forward, Kilkenny's fourth recipient here tonight. This is Brian McAvoy. Now, in fairness, you don't actually have to have an infectious sense of humour to be a corner forward. He just happens to have one anyway. We're talking, of course, about Shawty McGrath from Cork. At full forward, it's another Cork man. It's another outstanding forward. This time, it's Joe Dean. Well now, 3 goals and 12 points just in the championship campaign, and certainly I can tell you Galway people don't need any reminder about this man's skill. From Clare, Niall Gilligan in the corner. And now at this point I think we're going to join Ger Canning and Marty Morrissey, who have somebody to talk to.
Thank you, Michael. Well, you've got the Rose of Tralee up there on the podium. We've got the Rose of Mooncoin down at this particular table. But the lovely Mrs. Cody is alongside Brian here, the Kilkenny manager. Brian, what did you make of it all?
Oh, a very good team, obviously, Ger. The nominations a case could be made for almost all the people nominated. Cork obviously got the bulk of the awards, and deservedly so, having won the All-Ireland final. But we were happy enough with 4. I think we didn't do too badly.
Would you get into that team, do you reckon?
I think so, yeah.
Ever a modest man, Brian Cody.
Thanks very much indeed, Ger Canning. Indeed, we've got the manager's perspective. What about the captain's perspective? Former All-Star winner 3 times Anthony Daly. What does it mean to the players to be an All-Star?
Well, Marty, some years you win the All-Ireland maybe and you get an All-Star easy enough, and other years your county mightn't have done great and you'd still get an All-Star, and it's a great personal award. And even if you win or you lose, it's at the end of the year, it's recognition at the end of the year. You know, it's a nice award to get.
And what's the reaction down in the Banner County to this All-Star team, do you think?
Well, sure, I suppose in fairness to be mixed reaction, but delighted to get 2 awards. We didn't win anything this year, and Frank and Gilly be well deserved of their awards, I think, and we'd be happy enough.
No question of retirement, Sinclair, back in the millennium?
I don't know about that yet, Marty. We'll see how the Christmas goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Daly.
Yes, well, congratulations then to each and every one of our hurling recipients for 1999, deserving winners all. And in particular for those taking an All-Star trophy for the first time here tonight, well, there's an added distinction because they now have become members of an elite club, a club that only accepts the best.
On the field, you forget the summer days among the fields of cotton. See the children as the sun among the fields of gold.
Think you're going to do it? We're going to do it.
Three is swung in there, got it down.
In his jealous sky, and we walked in field
Minute to go. James O'Connor will this be the winner? It may be. James O'Connor.
Get him through the defence here, shorten the grip on the stick, and he put it over the bar.
Welcome back to Leeside, Lee McCarthy. We've missed you a lot.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, great moments, great players. Right then, for the moment, it's time for us to take a break from the proceedings here at the Burlington Hotel. But much excitement in store in the second part of our programme. We'll be revealing the names of our football award winners. Now remember that it is still a secret to them as well as to everyone else. We'll also be naming our players of the year in football and hurling. All that's in a few minutes' time, so do please stay with us. A buzz of anticipation is rising here at the Aircel GAA All Star Awards, coming to you live from the Burlington Hotel in Dublin. Now, it's just a puck further from RTE, and having spent, I suppose, the spring, summer and autumn bringing you the best of the action on the playing fields, well, RTE tonight is delighted once again to bring you the pick of the best in Gaelic games over the year that's been. And in this winter of 1999, we mark the close of the century with one last major live event in Gaelic games, the naming of the Football All-Stars. And let me also mention that we'll be naming our young players of the year and our players of the year in football and in hurling both. Now, that's all before the close of business, but before we do that, let's talk first of all to two people central to what tonight is all about, to the GAA and the Aircel Awards. That's to Joe McDonagh, Uachtaráin Cumann Luchlas Scale, and to Stephen Brewer, the Chief Executive of Aircel. Joe McDonagh, I know there's still a few months to go in your term of presidency, but nonetheless, this night and this particular occasion, I suppose, brings part of the curtain down on your term.
I suppose in many ways, Michael, this is the end of the playing season for 1999, the end of the century, and of course the end of the millennium. And it does in many ways bring the curtain down on my involvement certainly on the field of play to a great extent. But we've had 3 wonderful years, many exciting initiatives, tremendous performances, great successes in the field of play, and most particularly we have all enjoyed so much the tremendous performances and exploits of the players we're honouring here this evening.
And Stephen Brewer, looking at this from the Aircel All-Stars point of view, you ventured out this year to Boston and reviving these trips. What's the plan for the year 2000?
Well, Boston was a great success, particularly as the All-Stars led by Willie O'Connor beat the Cork champions, which was fantastic. But we're now looking ahead another country. I can't tell you where, but we want to do it. It was a great success for the Irish Americans and the Irish community in Boston.
And you also have another venture lined up.
Well, we're very keen on our sponsorship of the GAA, and just before the new season starts, we're introducing the Aircel All-Stars Fantasy League game. So all the people can pick their dream team week by week with great prizes and all end up being Sean Boylan.
Well, Joe McDonagh, although your term is ending, obviously you're not going to be lost to the GAA and to us in terms of your involvement.
Well, no, I suppose, most of us involved in the GAA remain involved at some level or other. We possibly will be taking a short break for a period of time, but certainly look forward to a continued involvement.
You'll actually get a few nights home for a change.
Yes, that will be quite a change. I suppose I'll be reacquainting myself with my family and with some of the household and domestic chores that I have left to one side for the past 3 or 4 years.
Joe McDonagh, Stephen Brewer, thank you very much indeed. Well, now, apart from the winning of the 4 provincial championships and the All-Ireland title itself in 1999, there was one other major event which took place just a few weeks back. Now, this was the international rules confrontation against the Australians. But after the success of the venture in 1998, when the opposing countries decided to replace the physical with the skillful, well, we wondered if such admirable sportsmanship might have an audience in the man's world of Aussie football. Well, happily it did. And there was an added bonus from an Irish perspective.
great opportunity to be presented with, to be here in Australia, to play the Australians in the international series again.
Once again, it's Sean O'Dwyer hitting it in towards the goal area. What a fine catch by Dermot Early. Set through quickly, a goal chance. Almost came for Ireland, won back by Australia, however. Jack Allen, little chink into space beautifully. Nicely on there. And the shot produces the goal for Kieran Whelan. James Nowell. And still the Irish take it forward. Kieran McManus, head down. Challenged and fouled after he played the ball in. It's surely going to be a free kick. The Irish players are ready to protest. Jeff Allen kicks and Jeff Allen has scored. There is the hooter and it is all over and Ireland has won the opening test here in Melbourne. The Australians have been beaten.
An incredible atmosphere, and our lads were wonderfully brave in that last quarter when it looked as if we were nearly going to be overrun by the Australians, but they stuck at it and got that goal from Ja in the end, and I think it was just about what we deserved because our lads played with great skill all through.
They try to dart inside here. Michael Donnellan, goalkeeper's back on his line. Mark is taken. Here's a goal chance for Ireland, and it's there. John McDermott. Shane Crawford, number 9, shaping up like he'll be the one to hit this penalty against Declan O'Keefe, and he scored. It's a second goal for Australia. Giles getting it back once more for Ireland. Again, it's Michael Donnellan. Again, they try to go through for scores, and they'll get something out of this, surely. And they do. Another over. What a great finish. Ja Fallon. That's it. Ireland has won.
Dream come true, something else. Great experience. From the first minute we got out here, the whole setup was first class, and the two performances just proved the whole thing was brilliant, first class.
Yes, some of our top stars in Gaelic football. As we saw there, getting the upper hand on the host country, the Aussies will come here surely with the point to prove in the year 2000. It should make for another fascinating international rules series. We're also delighted to say that Colin O'Rourke and his squad are the guests of Aircel here tonight at our banquet. Now, OK, then we come to the naming of the award winners in football for 1999. Now, once again, we remind you that the football team will only be revealed live here on this programme in the next few minutes. So a lot of anxious players here at the banquet hall right now. Let's take a rundown on the players who were nominated to fill those 15 positions.
There are 3 nominees for the goalkeeping position. Benny Tierney, Armagh; Kevin O'Dwyer, Cork; Cormac O'Sullivan, Meath. 6 Armagh defenders are nominated: Kieran Hughes, Andrew McCann, Kieran McGeaney, Enda and Justin McNulty. 5 from Cork: Martin Cronin, Anthony Lynch, Ronan McCarthy, Kieran O'Sullivan and Owen Sexton. 1 from Kerry: Seamus Moynihan. 2 from County Mayo: Kevin Cowell and Alan Roach. 5 from Meath: Darren Fay, Cormac Murphy, Mark O'Reilly, Enda McManus and Paddy Reynolds. 6 midfielders are nominated for 2 positions: Jarlath Burns, Armagh; Nicholas Murphy, Michael O'Sullivan, Cork; John McDermott, Meath; Kieran Whelan, Dublin; Anthony Tohill, Derry. 18 forwards are nominated: 3 from Armagh: Dermot Marsden, Oisin McConville and Paddy McKeever. 4 from Cork: Philip Clifford, Don Davis, Joe Kavanagh, Podsy O'Mahony. 5 from Meath: Donald Curtis, Graham Geraghty, Trevor Giles, Evan Kelly and Ollie Murphy. 1 from Kerry: Aidan McGarrett. 1 from Dublin: Ian Robertson. Shane Mulholland of Down is the only nominee from there. Pádraig Joyce of Galway, James Horan of Mayo and Desi Dolan of County Westmeath.
So, those are the players who have been nominated to make up our selected 15 here tonight. Well, the die has already been cast. That selection has been made. But Before we reveal it to you, well, let us take an edited journey through the Football Championship, which promised a rare double for one county, stirred up intense rivalries from the previous decade, and ended with a tried and trusted name topping the honours list.
The opening of the 99 championship was a red-letter day, or rather a red and yellow card day. It was Westmeath against Carlow, pretty innocuous, yet there were 14 yellow cards and 6 reds.
Johnny Kavanagh departs the scene after 16 and a half minutes of this Leinster Championship campaign. Carlow, amazingly, are down to 14 men.
Same day, and Cork won the National Football League final. It was the first success as coach for Larry Tompkins.
Coleman coming across it. He still managed to free up Aidan Dorgan. And an easy scoring chance in the end for Aidan Dorgan, his first point of the match. And he stretches the Cork lead here.
Controversy in May at the Kerry tip match. This time the goal that was but shouldn't have been. Jerry Murphy's approach shot hit the goal stanchion but came straight back to him and deceived a lot of people. Mind you, Kerry did miss 2 penalties.
Michael Collins chatting with the 2 umpires to see whether the goal was legitimate or not, and it is. And Kerry get a huge boost.
The big championship draws commenced with Armagh and Donegal in Ulster. A late reprieve in June for Donegal, but Armagh advanced in the replay.
Right, Cathal O'Rourke. He looks for the quick ball, he looks for Diarmuid Marsden, and if he can get to this, there's a chance of a goal. And that's a superb goal by Diarmuid Marsden.
The defending champions Galway were very nearly sent packing in Markievicz Park. Sligo bagged 3 goals and might well have advanced, but champions rarely let a second chance slip.
O'Donnell fends off one challenge, goes for what would be a very spectacular point indeed, and Noel Maguire keeping it in, and Sean O'Donnell is there for Galway, and it's gone in across the line. The goal stands.
In Leinster, Dublin were also very nearly eliminated at the semi-final stage by Laois. Ian Robertson kick off the ground resulted in a second match, and the expectant champions were more decisive in the replay.
Clever play by Jim Gavin to lead that to Kieran Whelan, to Desi Farrell. Dublin knew what they were doing. And Brian Steins knew what he was doing.
July 4th, and time to liberate Meath. They had a most convincing win over Offaly.
Graham Geraghty going high and gathering magnificently. Geraghty gets away for the first time. Still Graham Geraghty. Can he score? Gives it to Murphy.
Meanwhile, Down were at their most vibrant and decisive in the Ulster semi-final, beating more favoured Tyrone in Casement Park.
Across to Gerard Deegan. Back to Kieran McCabe. There's a second goal coming here. Oh, McConnell did well. But McCabe gets his second goal.
The 90s saw the breakup of the Cork-Kerry monopoly of the Munster final. But in 99, the big 2 were back to battle it out in Porky Queeve.
Once again, it's dropped in there for Marcus Owen. Here comes Murray. John Murray to the stick. 2 goals in 2 games for John Murray.
Mayo regained the title in Connacht, beating the All-Ireland champions by 4 points. By common consent, John Mahon's squad were that bit hungrier.
Chasing, harassing Kenneth Mortimer. Again, the architect of this Mayo team in the centre-forward position. That's not a bad ball at all. Comes to David Lester. Oh, what a goal! Great goal from Mayo. A cracking shot.
In Leinster, the meeting of Meath and Dublin was the 17th in the championship since 1983. Sean Boylan was again at the helm, and the Royals were devastated.
2 against 1. The one gets away with it here. Trevor Giles inside towards Ollie Murphy, inside Conor Andrews. Here's Murphy. And it's a
In Ulster, the neighbours were at it again. This time, Armagh and Down, and Pete McGrath's team had no real answer to the twin strike force.
In towards Diarmuid Marsden. Faced by Finbar Caulfield. Great run by Marsden. This is a wonderful chance. Oh! A great goal for Armagh.
The first of the All-Ireland semi-finals saw Mayo back in Croke Park to face Cork. It was the Westerners' 32nd championship match of the 90s and their 10th loss.
Heaney trying to come across and dispossess. Good run forward by Joe Kavanagh. Took it beautifully. Here's the chance. It's a great block down. There's still possibilities. And Clifford puts it in the back of the net.
Meath took a while to get going against Armagh, but dipped deeply into their reservoirs of courage to see off the Ulster champions.
Here's Trevor Giles. John McDermott now. Evan Kelly up in support. Can he put this one over the bar? Still Evan Kelly. And he's fisted it over. Having caught by the cover of Jarlath Burns. Meath fans dance with joy.
In the All-Ireland final, Meath were only headed once, and Ollie Murphy gave them a major boost in the 25th minute.
Here's Trevor Giles. Very clever player. Always tries to pick out somebody. It's a huge ball inside. There goes Graham Garrity. Broken down towards Ollie Murphy. And Ollie Murphy scores! It's a goal for Meath.
Cork appeared to have been given a second chance when Kevin O'Dwyer saved a penalty, and then Joe Kavanagh scored one of the great All-Ireland final goals.
Joe Kavanagh with a goal chance. It's a goal for Cork!
But it was that Meath spirit and character which showed itself to be indomitable.
Won by Trevor Giles. Clever ball into Graham Garrity. Takes up a good position. Gets out ahead of his man. And then he kicks it and he kicks it over the bar. Graham Garrity's third.
Victory to the Royals then, at the end of a season in which there were 37 championship matches during 1999.
Yes, some fantastic memories there, especially for this man here, Sean Boylan. Great year, eh?
We had a wonderful year, Ger. It's been a fantastic year for our county, and we're delighted to be back as All-Ireland champions again.
And we saw the Australian series featured there as well, and of course one of your men captained the side.
That's right. It was a huge occasion for John McDermott, and as it was for the rest of the lads who were on the squad. Wonderful Irish team. I think we were always proudest bunch of them.
I was talking to young Larry Tompkins, the Cork coach, a couple of days ago, and he was saying we were speculating about the All-Stars. I don't want to be selfish. Maybe 9 Cork men on it, you know? What about you?
Well, they would deserve 9, but, you know, unfortunately, you know, it's, you only can get 15 on the team, and I suppose Larry would be like myself in that whoever gets on it, we know that they've more than earned the right to be on it, and we wish whoever gets on it, we wish them well.
And they will deserve their award.
Oh, they'll deserve that award for, you know, for a marvellous year's football.
Right, let's find out. Sean, thanks a lot. Back to Michael.
Okay, let us begin then by naming the Aircell All-Stars in football for 1999. Now, just first of all, let me also mention that joining Geraldine O'Grady here on our presentation podium, we have Natalie McGuinness, also from Aircell. Now, let's begin with goalkeeper then. And I suppose this player, it was a case of coming in from the cold for his county this year. From Cork, Kevin O'Dwyer.
Returned to his county fold this year, his first choice goalkeeper. The Skibbereen man had an outstanding year in the league and championship. Indeed, in the league final, he made 3 outstanding saves against Dublin and carried this form right through to the final day of the championship.
Okay then, at right full back, ladies and gentlemen, we were just talking a moment ago to Sean Boylan. Well, this player played a very important role in Sean Boylan and Meath's victory this year, Mark O'Reilly.
Outstanding candidate for the right full back position after a brilliant series of displays for Meath. For consistency, marking ability of the highest order and great positional play, he was a key figure in their All-Ireland win.
At full back, we had a player who was absolutely peerless in this position. He was a defender without question during the entire season. Another Meath man, Darren Fay.
Peerless in the position, dependable without a question, and a key player in Meath's capturing of the All-Ireland title. Darren Fay was the unanimous choice for full-back.
At left full back, we had a player who showed all the skills: anticipation, blocking, skillful clearances, and very, very rarely, if ever, a foul in sight. From Cork, Anthony Lynch.
Skillful defending is an art in itself, and nobody illustrated this art better in 1999 than our next recipient. His anticipation, blocking and general defending, without having to revert to fouling, made Anthony Lynch the worthy recipient of the award for the left full-back position.
In the position of right half-back, we have another Cork man, and indeed another worthy recipient. This is Kieran O'Sullivan.
Kieran O'Sullivan's reputation as a footballer of quality was enhanced this year in the league and championship, and of course later down under in Australia. Either defending or attacking, the West Cork man is a class act.
There is no doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. When they look back, they will say up in Armagh that this actually has been a great year for them, capturing the Ulster title. A player who was a very key performer in that performance and in that success is Kieran McGeeney.
Centre-half-back inspired his colleagues in league and championship, and that fine form continued with a county club championship. His county reached the closing stages of the league while he was in superb form as Armagh won back the Ulster title. And on Sunday next he plays for Na Fianna in the Leinster Club Decider.
Now at left half-back, we had a player so often out to the ball first, always seemed to be where the action was. Another Meath man, Paddy Reynolds.
A wing-back live wire, first to the breaking ball so often this summer. A key ingredient in Meath's championship mix. Like his father before him, Paddy Reynolds is now established as one of Meath's finest.
We come to the first then of our midfield positions. And this player, well, he's had many fine years with the county. Many would regard this perhaps to be his finest. Once again, from Meath, John McDermott.
Been a key figure in the Meath team right throughout the 90s, and he again showed his value in 1999 when he turned in a number of memorable displays of midfield. And the year ended perfectly, of course, when he captained Ireland to victory in the International Rules Series in Australia.
To our second midfield position now. I suppose this year Dublin were the thick of the action for a lot of things, didn't quite manage to land a major trophy. It wasn't the fault of this player, to be sure. Our other midfield position is Kieran Whelan.
One of the finest athletes in the game, and a young player with a promising future. This award is in recognition of Kieran Whelan's towering presence in Dublin's path to the Leinster and indeed League final. His energy saw him make an invaluable contribution in defence and especially in attack when he proved a prolific source of scores.
Right then, we move into the attack, and in the right half forward position, the first of our forwards as well. What a player to start with, ladies and gentlemen. From Armagh, it's Diarmuid Marsden.
Rise to prominence was one of the highlights of 1999. Despite ongoing injury trouble, Diarmuid Marsden made a handsome contribution. He scored 3 brilliant championship goals and also set up both goals for Oisin McConville in the Ulster final win over Down.
We come then to centre half forward. Another outstanding year for this player. He seems to be just full of outstanding years. Perceptive use of the ball, so important to Meath's success in the championship. Trevor Giles.
Perceptive use of the ball was at the heart of Meath's progress to the All-Ireland title. Quite simply, a phenomenal year, considering the serious injury he carried at the start of the year.
Now, at left half forward, we have a player who made an immense contribution to his team's efforts this year. Distinguished himself with some very wonderful long-range scores. From a Galway perspective, unfortunately, some of them were down in Tuam, but that's another story. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mayo is James Horan.
James Horan's contribution to Mayo's championship season was staggering, especially in the area of long-range kicking against Galway and Tuam. Traditionalists think Horan is simply the best.
OK, we move into the full forward division then, and at right full forward, and this player, well, he certainly led by example and by inspiration. The award goes indeed to the Cork captain, Philip Clifford.
In his very first year on the Cork football team, Philip Clifford carried the burden of captaincy as well as delivering exceptional performances, both as a target man and a quality finisher. From Bantry in West Cork, a player with a very bright future.
So at full forward we have a player who, I suppose, like Philip in many ways, also led by example and by inspiration through this year of 1999. Inspiring leadership was the mark indeed of Graham Geraghty.
Graham Geraghty gave Meath inspiring leadership, no more so than in the second half of this season's All-Ireland football final. Again, he showed his versatility in the transition from defence to the attack, a creator and taker of invaluable scores.
Our final name then on the All-Star team for 1999, he's a born predator, a lethal finisher, and ladies and gentlemen, in 1999, there really was only one Ollie Murphy.
Indeed, you're absolutely right, Michael. A born predator and lethal finisher. He delivered the knockout blows to Offaly, Dublin and Cork on Meath's voyage to bringing home Sam Maguire. A truly marvellous player, continuing the tradition of top scorers and forwards like Tommy Dowd. There is only one Ollie Murphy.
And would you believe, I think the hair is after growing even a half a centimetre as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our All-Star Award winners in football for 1999. Congratulate them. Now again, as we did with our hurling selection, we make the point that this selection of players join that exclusive club inhabited only by those who are honoured in this special way each year. Some have been there before, for others this is a first honour, but for all, tonight's award places them in a special category.
To score, Kerry behind, pass for once again he's through. Once again it's dangerous. Tompkins the free taker. Into Shane Fahy. What's a very dark afternoon really here in Croke Park. The picture you're seeing is a good deal brighter, and it's looking particularly bright for Cork right now. And inside to Greg Blaney. Mickey Linden has got the opportunity. Is this to be it for Donegal? It will be a victory that would give a great deal of heart to so many counties around the country. Bonner has put it over. Technical calling for it. That's McGurk, and he's put it over the bar. Here's Ricky Linden. Here's a goal chance. James McCarthy rolls it in. And here's Jason Sherlock in a favourable touch that time. Still Sherlock. He'll complete the race. It's in. Here's Brendan Riley. Will he be the All-Ireland final hero? Trying to set up a chance. The angle shot and it's gone over the bar. That's a great ball. Dolan inside from Johnson, the chance. Galway shot and it's Here's Trevor Giles, very clever player. Always tries to pick out something. It's a huge ball inside there. Goes Graham Geraghty, broken down towards Ollie Murphy. And Ollie Murphy scores!
Ah yes, all-star moments, all-star heroes. Now, we still have 4 awards to make here at the Burlington Hotel tonight. In a few moments, we'll be naming the Players of the Year in both football and hurling. But before that, we have the Young Players of the Year. It's the Football Award first, ladies and gentlemen. He is now about to receive his second honour of the night here. As I mentioned a moment ago, a player who led by example from Cork, their captain, Philip Clifford. Our second award in this category goes to the Young Hurling Player of the Year. Again, in his case, he will be collecting a second award here tonight. It's a compliment if I describe him, ladies and gentlemen, as a horse of a man, because he's every bit of that. The Cork fullback, Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Now, we move on to the main awards in the category. First of all, it's the Player of the Year in hurling. And what an outstanding and incredible year it's been for this player. I suppose last year, in 1998, he was unlucky enough to go away without anything from these awards. Tonight, like the other two, it's a second award for Cork's Brian Corcoran.
Nice strike. And again, it's Brian Corcoran, the Erin's own man.
Brian Corcoran into pull. Corcoran to make a run and to lift Cork. Dan Shanahan going back, but Corcoran making great space for himself. Great drive by Corcoran. Inspirational.
Well done, Brian. And so then, to our final award, not just of the night, but of the year, the century, and indeed the millennium. It's the Football Player of the Year. And in this category, the name is Giles, Trevor Giles.
Giles' kick, and once again the cheers of the Meath fans because he's landed it right between the posts. Get back to Nigel Nestor, thought about the kick with the left boot, back to Trevor Giles. That's looking nice, it's got over the bar. What a wonderful talent this player is.
And so then, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me at this point thank our presentation party who have joined me here on the stage tonight. That's Stephen Brewer, the Chief Executive of Aircel, Joe McDonough, Uachtaráin Cumann Lutla Scale, and Dr. Jim McDade, the Minister for Sport, Tourism and Recreation. We also thank indeed our hostesses Natalie McGuinness and our Rosa of Tralee, Geraldine O'Grady as well. And on that note, we close from the Burlington Hotel here tonight, not just, as I said, for this year, but also for the century in Gaelic Games. Now, it may just be, in real terms, another date on the calendar. The battle for the Games' top honours will go on in the new year, just the same as they did in the past year. But still, at this juncture, it's time to reflect, a time perhaps to take stock, to look back on all that's been in our living memories and all that is still to come. From the Burlington Hotel and this very special Aircel GAA Award ceremony, good night and thank you.